This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Colorado. I'm here with Kay Rowe. This professional real estate agent is passionate about helping people through mediation and creative expression in writing. Kay, thanks so much for joining us here today. I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. I mean, you've been fortunate to be really fortunate enough to have many gifts that you share with folks. You really have a passion for life. You love life. In your past, you have been a consultant, self-employed, years of experience in sales as well as management. In 2014, you became a realtor. 2018, you became certified in Colorado as a mediator. Right now, you really enjoy helping people enjoy a higher quality of life and having a positive impact upon your community. Can you share with us a little bit how this passion began for you in writing as well as helping people?
Wow, that's a big question. When I was a kid, for some reason, I was the peacemaker in the family, and I looked at life differently than the rest of my siblings. I was literally the middle kid. I've got a 10-year younger sibling, 10-year older sibling, and I'm smack dab in the middle. And I was the one that always questioned things. Like I would sit there, the whole family would be watching TV, and I'd be sitting there like this, in deep thought. And my father would look at me and he'd go, "What are you thinking about? What's going on in your head?" And I'd start asking him all these questions. I says, "I'm just wondering, like, how did I get here? How did the animals get here? Is this the only planet that has life?" I mean, I'm like 4 years old, and I'm having these thoughts, right? And I never ever thought that I was better than anybody else. I was fascinated by life. Like, I would see somebody my age, maybe even younger, with slanted eyes, and I was just amazed that, wow, that little baby has slanted eyes, and I'd want to go up and touch him and hug him and everything. And I'd see somebody with dark skin, and I'd go, wow, how cool is that? You know?
Very observant.
But I was very observant of my environment, and I really, really cared about people. When people got hurt, by this time I'm now in school and everything, and I'd watch kids fighting and giving each other bloody noses and black eyes, and I'd go and I'd break up the fights and say, "I don't know, why are you doing this? You know, stop doing this." And it was just kind of inbred in me. For some reason, I was the kid that was just like, I could not understand violence. It just made no sense. I'd even split my parents apart. I'd push them aside from each other when they'd be in a fight, and I'd say, "Could you just talk to each other?" You know?
So it was a natural
So it was just a natural progression for me. I always loved to read. I loved to write. I was winning all the spelling bees in school. I was already reading when I was 3 years old because I had two older siblings, and I'd sit there on my mom's lap when she'd be helping my siblings with their homework. So I learned how to read, how to write, arithmetic, the whole 9 yards. I get in kindergarten and I'm like, do.
Yep.
So the teachers even made me a tutor and to help the younger students. But I just loved helping. It was just always been my passion to help. I always wanted to bring peace on earth.
Yep.
I wanted to be a child psychologist at one point, or join the Peace Corps. And
all these years,
yeah,
you decided to put them together, culminated in really writing. It took you 2 years to compile your story in written form, and you published it in 2017.
Yep.
Do you believe there is a kind of almost a therapeutic value when it comes to doing something like that? And do you recommend for others to do that?
Oh, absolutely. I highly recommend it to people. In fact, I would love to sit with people.
Yeah.
And actually help them, and even ghostwrite for them if they want me to.
I was going to ask you, and then for those who feel out there that they do not have the talents maybe to write, how can a writing coach like yourself assist them?
Well, I can share my experience with like how I outlined it, what the whole thought process is, the meetings I had with publishers, you know, and just all the learning curve on it and how I learned from the experience. I'm to the point now where I feel very competent that I could actually help anybody write their memoirs.
I mean, to write about one's life, it can be a vulnerable undertaking, really.
Yeah.
And we're talking about addressing pain, challenges, even triumphs. Are there a way for a person to share their story and yet at the same time kind of keep their identity hidden?
They can. They can use a ghostwriter. They can also write it as fiction.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's a way to do that.
That's interesting. I mean, do you feel that writing about your own traumas can actually empower others to realize that maybe they're not alone? And can it help others open up? Is that something you've experienced?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, on the flip side of it, I was so into my own trauma that I was oblivious to other people's trauma. And then as soon as I wrote my book, I started meeting all these people, and they start sharing their stories with me. And I'm like, wow, their stories were even more horrific than mine. I mean, I thought mine was so bad. And then I'm hearing, you know, this one guy I met with who invited me to an event he was hosting. He's telling me the story about how at 10 years old, his mother committed suicide. The week later, his only family member that was close with him and his little 6-year-old brother committed suicide. His grandfather, so that he had nobody except an abusive stepdad who was an alcoholic. So he ends up out on the street panhandling to support himself and his little brother. And then 4 years later, he becomes a heroin addict. And here I am sitting in a Starbucks with this guy in Omaha, and he's a CEO of a Fortune 500 company now.
Interesting.
You know, and so I'm thinking, wow.
That is something from that
you know?
story. Why was the real estate agent a profession you felt was a good fit for you to further help people outside of your writing skills?
Well, for one, I'm good at sales.
Okay.
I'm personable, I'm sociable, but I really, really, truly care about people. So having that is really important in real estate because it's a very delicate situation. The real estate process, whether you're the realtor or the buyer or the seller, it's not for the faint-hearted.
No.
You know, so you really have, yeah, exactly. You have to be very, very sensitive to people's needs, and you really have to truly care about them and have their backs. And that's just part of my nature. I care about people. I want what's best for them. And I get a thrill out of finding like a new family, their first home,
so cool.
A military family, a home. No matter what the purpose is of having a property, I am overjoyed with being able to help somebody through the process.
In caring for people, do you enjoy using social media to really educate them? Also on real estate in general, helping them add to their portfolios as well as, like I said, even buy their first home?
Yeah, I signed up with a company called Reach Advance out of Los Angeles, and they post 1-minute videos 5 times a week on my social media, and they're all educational videos, and I share those. You know, on LinkedIn and on, you know.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and a lot of people actually respond to those and appreciate the education.
With your talents, I mean, you're a licensed mediator in Colorado. You specialize in real estate disputes. You have a high work ethic. You live by the golden rule. Do you feel these are traits that assist you in creating really win-win results for your clients?
Oh, absolutely. Just having that, the mediator perspective, it helps me be able to understand both sides of the transaction. And so I'm not overselling or underselling, or, you know, I know exactly how an offer should be presented, because I can get into like the perspective of both parties and understand the needs, and then more often than not, I'll get the winning bids even when there's competition.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, as we said before, you have many gifts. You have a love for life. Do you hope your writings will urge us to maybe think outside the box, hopefully aid in bringing us all together, especially in a time when decisiveness really seems to be on the rise?
Oh, absolutely. It's interesting that you bring that up too, because my focus on my real estate is mostly Omaha, Nebraska, where I originally got licensed, right? Okay. And my focus here in Colorado is more on building relationships and on writing. You know, and that's what my focus is in the group I'm in, the business networking group, BNI. I feel that writing actually is such a great way to relieve stress. But my whole idea behind even creating the fiction series was to get people to think outside the box.
Okay.
And to get them to understand that there's no reason why we should be at each other.
Yeah.
You know, we should be able to meet in the middle. We should be able to talk to each other. I truly believe that greed is actually the bottom line of why we're having the issues that we're having.
Sure.
You've got higher players in the game that are pulling the strings, and the majority of the population are the puppets, and we're being played against each other. I mean, that's my perspective. We can call it science fiction, you know, but
from your perspective, is what you've seen. You're still that young girl at a young age, watching TV, watching things, dazing out and thinking really deep. Is it rewarding for you to hear some of the stories when people are able to read your book and whatnot?
Oh, absolutely. I'm getting feedback on it already, and the people, I have like 25 beta readers right now that are giving me feedback.
That's
and it's really exciting.
Hopefully we'll get some of those folks out there. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen. You're going to see her website for her real estate services. And I mean, if you're a writer or you just need help in writing your story, reach out for her services as well. Once again, that is Kay Rowe here in Colorado, serving you in real estate in Colorado as well as Nebraska, a professional real estate agent that is passionate about helping people through mediation and creative expression in writing. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.